down. If I fuck things up, just tell me now. We're living in a blinded town and we're running out of time. Feel like a drug when I'm talking to you. Slow trip trying to play it cool. Nothing to do, let's drive to the ocean. Get high, lay on the beach. White water running down my feet. Make love and repeat, I don't ever want to stay all night to see the sunrise. It's way too soon to be calling, baby. But it feels so right against the moonlight. Deep sea diving at first, don't save me. Is there something I can say? Make you wanna stay with me. Is there something I can say to make you wanna stay with me? Oh, to make you wanna stay with me. Is there something I can do to show my love for you?
What is going on? What is going on, YouTube? We are live. We are live. We are back in the building, and shout out to you. So as you can see, we're here. What? Damn. All right, as you can see, we are here on a Sunday, right? They happy we here. As you can see, we are here on a Sunday with the fam in the building. I feel like I went back old school a little bit because we got my guy, I'm So Chill, in the building. What up, what up, what up, family? You are here with us. It's been a minute. What you eating over there?
Oh man, some Greek yogurt, man. You know, I'm trying to get lean. I've been trying. I'm doing this whole juicing thing because the folks at work is running me ragged. They're running me ragged, y'all. Oh shit. I mean, shoot.
Oh snaps.
Be obvious.
Said be obvious. So it's good to have you. It's good to have you back on the panel. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people on the show, like, yo, he's been working so hard because a lot of people been asking about you. Hello, Kit down there making a lot of noise. She got birds chirping and everything.
Kit getting beat up, man. Somebody robbing Kit. What's going on?
Nah, Kid is on mute.
I just muted her.
Oh, okay.
So
slow.
So we got our girl Candace, the legacy maker, is in the building. Do me a favor, Candace. I want you, before we get the show started, to tell the audience what you got going on. I'm gonna take this call, so go ahead and talk. I got you. I'll be right back.
Okay, no problem. All right, so I just finished my own website. I might have like one or two bugs that I need to fix, but everybody please go over and send me any, like, favorite my page here, because I'm also going to be starting a YouTube faction of my channel that's dedicated to something called Am I Way Too Nice, where I will be taking text messages, possibly my own.
Uh-huh.
And I will be reading them, explaining the situation, explaining the person's response to the situation, and letting everyone chime in and talk. It'll be from a psychological and behavioral perspective, and getting things that you want. What are y'all going through over here? So please, so go to my website. It is called thelegacymaker.com. That is thelegacymaker.com. Thelegacymaker.com. Please. And thank
Make sure y'all go over there and subscribe. She's about to have her channel popping. And none other than my guy Blockchain is in the building. I'm gonna let him get his stuff together real quick. Kit, it feels like a minute we ain't see Kit too. Kit be arguing with me in the comment section every Friday, but I miss her so much. What up, Kit?
Hey guys, what's going on?
you know what, Kid? It's given. We had the cookout and everybody give me a hug. That's what it's given. Come on, sweetheart, give me a hug. Because I want to hug you right now.
You know I'm all love for everybody. It's so good to see everybody.
Word.
Happy holiday.
Wait, what holiday is it?
It's Memorial Day.
Oh,
tomorrow's Memorial Day.
You working so much you don't even realize what's going on.
Yeah, I don't even take days off, y'all. And I'm going today.
Toes around you. We're getting ready for barbecuing, and you know.
You know what? I did see some folks like my neighbors. They barbecuing right now. I didn't even ask them. I stayed to myself. I don't mess with them folks.
I thought it was tomorrow.
It's the weekend. It's the Memorial Day weekend. Tomorrow's Memorial Day. Come on, knees. You know what it is. Don't do that.
New knee.
New knees.
Wait, he said, "Get it right now. If we gonna do
it." Them knees, man. What you been doing with them knees, man?
Trying to strengthen them back up. That's all.
All right. I feel you. But
strong knees down there.
My bad.
He got that. He got some bionic knees now.
Yeah.
Hope I dunk again before I die.
Oh no, man.
What is going on? Who, yo, hold on, all right, yo. So we
that was me. I dropped my
guy. That's why he's shooting that kid.
Nah, I dropped my keyboard. I'm out here wobbling. You would think, right?
So, we got my guy Blockchain. Blockchain is in the building with the dope background. Hold on, before my guy Blockchain go on, Monica is in the building. What up, Monica? She says hi, everyone. Salute, and shout out to yo. Do me a favor, y'all. If y'all ain't hit the like button yet, as y'all come in the door, hit the like button, and also stay active in the chat. I can't put the chat up today because it's gonna be in Quint's way. Hold up, let me see. Yeah, that's gonna be in Quint's face. But
do your thing.
No, I ain't gonna do it to you. But what? Yo, y'all got a lot of noise happening today. Yo, Blockchain, what's good, my brother?
Man, I'm trying to be like you when I grow up, champ.
Like me. Good old. I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it.
Yeah, I'm trying to be putting out TV shows and getting people married and helping them find love. I wanna. If I could be as excellent as you, I think I'd have lived a good life, my guy.
I'm working on it. I'll get there. We working on it. The excellence is in progress. So we working on it. We're gonna get there. I appreciate you though, my brother.
Skinny, something told me that my ball cube boob was gonna be on today, so I had to make sure I was looking up the part. I gotta greet people proper when they come back into the fold. That's all it is.
I appreciate it. Man. I appreciate you not coming on here looking like a mud duck. It's good. It's good to see you all sharp and everything.
Not a mud duck. Oh man! Before we move forward, we got a 10 membership gifted from our guy Blockchain. Thank you so much for being on the show and still gifting memberships while we are at it. So,
how many names does he have? Because I was like, Blockchain. I was like, that's not Blockchain. That's coming in hot.
Nah, that's Blockchain.
That's how we know you ain't been here.
You ain't been here.
That's how we know you ain't been here.
MIA.
Right.
So
Like, what's
real quick, y'all.
Hey, check the other
For those
chat
of
too.
y'all that don't know, right? Okay, I'm gonna hit him up. For those of y'all that don't know,
I'll send it.
yeah, send it to him. When you become a channel member, of course helps the channel, but we're also starting to do giveaways on the channel as well. So it's very important that we stay members. So if you're gifted a membership, do me a favor and continue your memberships month over month to be active members, and that way you could qualify for our giveaway. Last month I gave away some headphones, and we plan on getting a lot more dope giveaways. It was what was it? The AirPod Max Pros I gave away.
Mhm.
So make sure y'all stay tapped in, stay channel members, stay in tune with everything we got going on over here on GMT. Yo, Professor, what up, man? There you go. He got the night
There you
clothes
go.
on.
Oh,
He
that
got
boy
the
hair
silk
done.
shirt
got the hair
on.
up in the air.
I dig it. I dig it. I dig it.
Like, you can slide across
You're looking sharp.
The,
Got
pre-
this sweat on.
the professor came up here looking like a Nigerian club promoter. I like it.
Well, let me tell you one time, okay?
Hey,
I have been doing a lot of clubbing this weekend, okay? No, everything is good, man. We're talking about black fatigue, and I'm tired of the bull crap, so I figured I'd keep my PJs on for this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
He looking like a
Lord,
Yeah.
you know what? See, he did that on purpose, right? Because they'll send me the link, but then I don't necessarily see what the topic is because I literally didn't know what the topic was until Professor just said that because I didn't even bother to read the marquee top. This is why I'm fool with you people. What the hell is a black fatigue?
Listen,
Oh,
we
you
black
gonna learn
fatigued
today.
out. We gonna learn what black.
This is a thing.
It's a thing. Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of people are on it now.
Are
That's the
black and
biggest topic
fatigued.
online right now. Being black, being fatigued of your own culture. So I'm gonna play something for y'all. Real quick.
Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. I'm thinking like fatigue, like the suit. Like
I was saying me too, but in
I
this
said
instance, you're more of an idiot than I am.
I said I
so
can't.
much more of an idiot.
I got PJs on because I'm fatigued.
Look, I swear to you, I'm thinking like
I got it, TDP. I got it. Ba-da-ba.
I get it, but I'm sitting here thinking army fatigue, and I'm thinking like, so what? We got like our own suits and shit. Like,
You just need a
Why
soul.
would I do a show about clothes? All right, y'all.
Why do you think I was confused? I'm not even being funny. I try to tell people if it was about
you just confused me.
If it was about rocket science, I would have absolutely understood from top to bottom. But for something as simple as black fatigue, I swear to God, I'm thinking it's like the clothes.
I could have been podcasting from a rocket ship and said I'm in a rocket ship because we're talking about that. You still wouldn't have got it.
Probably not. No, you know what? To hell with you. But here's the thing, though. Maybe because so in my head, maybe because black people don't really have a chance to be tired, so it's like black fatigue doesn't.
Hold on. Let me play this real quick. Let me play the video.
Fatigue, like
and then we're gonna get into it.
It is fatigue.
Kid fatigue. All right, y'all. Hold on. Let me play this video. Damn it. All right, here we go.
Fatigue or ghetto fatigue.
Hold up, I'm tripping.
A real thing, and no one stands longer. No nationality wants to be involved or bothered by this loud, obnoxious group of people. No one, not even hardworking Black Americans. I mean, I'm telling no lies here. Everywhere that group of people go, chaos follows, and no matter where you go, they're there. You can't go on a cruise ship because they done ghettoed it out. Have you seen the Carnival cruise ships? It looks like a fucking barbecue. And if you haven't noticed, it's always the same group of people. You know, loud, bonnets, pajamas, big ass eyelashes that flutter. You know, the EBT crowd. I mean, it's gotten so bad that you won't catch me at a Juicy Crab or a Cheesecake Factory or even a McDonald's for that matter, because they turn those places into shooting galleries whenever someone that looks like them look at them wrong. They have mastered the victim card. Everyone's against them. There's oppression everywhere. And it's always the white man's fault, never their own. But let one of them tell it. They would have you believe that the police is the most dangerous thing within their communities. Wrong. You're the most dangerous thing in your community, which is why the police are there in the first place, to stop you from committing genocide against your own people. Look, no one's going to stay silent to this toxic behavior. And you can call me all the Uncle Toms that you want. But the fact that you're calling me that shows me that I'm saying something with facts. And you wonder why most good Black people move out of those communities as soon as they reach success. It's because they want
Yo,
more for
Decipher, what
themselves.
up?
And that crab in a barrel mindset is not conducive to prosperity. There is absolutely no accountability in that community. Most of that segment hate accountability. They hate truth. They hate to look at themselves in the mirror because they would have to face the fact that they're causing their own oppression. You also have the Democrat Party to thank for spoon feeding that behavior, making you a permanent underclass, and you still vote blue no matter who. But America is tired, and people have grown numb to your constant cry of racism. Everyone's a racist who doesn't agree with you. But meanwhile, you can be bigots to everybody else. But yes, I say it again, Black fatigue or ghetto fatigue is real, and it's time that we say something about it.
All right, y'all. All right. Let's talk about it. What up? Anyone can start. Go ahead, kid. You got it.
Here's the thing. Only thing I noticed, well, not the only thing, there's a lot I noticed, but one of the main things I noticed is that everyone he was attributing to the ghetto fatigue was a female. Nothing about any of the penis population, none of the YNs running around.
That's not true, kid.
Looking crazy. That's literally what he said. He said,
no, he just said you'll shoot up a party. Women are not doing that. It's Black men that's doing that. YNs.
Women,
they're doing it.
Oh.
Not to the degree that men are.
Okay, because all I heard, because when he said, you know who I'm talking about, the ones in the bonnets, the ones with the eyelashes that flutter, it was all attributing to Black women, and none of that was about any type of Black man.
Yeah, he just included both of them.
If he's including both of them, then that's fine. But with the way that it came off is that, he was pushing it all over to the one gender and not the race in total. So if that's the case, then, I land there.
I'm trying to figure out how Candace got red hair and she a Crip, but
oh my gosh, hold on to memories. My God, what month are we in?
Listen, it's every time I see you, I think of Nipsey Hussle. But no, like I don't have an issue with what he said. I mean, he's talking about the EBT community. I don't want to go nowhere where Groupon is an option. I don't want to go to places. Carnival lets you pay for their trips with a CashApp card. Like I intentionally don't go to places that these types of people congregate in large groups because again, I know what can happen if shit goes left. Like they will shoot, they don't fight, they're not well emotionally regulated, and then they have no couth or decorum in public. So I have nothing that he said about Carnival is inaccurate.
I agree.
Oh,
Chill, what's your thoughts on the topic? We ain't hear from you in like 3 months.
Oh my God, man, that dude, boy. So I do want to educate folks. So Black fatigue is a real term. Black fatigue was coined by the author Mary Frances Winters in her latest book, Black Fatigue, which says that, I'm just say Black Americans specifically, we're tired of the systemic racism, oppression, the laws, the Black codes, and all that stuff. That's where it came from. And that's the term. And to see somebody come up there and just say, oh, there's this Black fatigue, I get it. This trend that was coming up. This new trend where everybody's saying, oh, I got Black fatigue. But what's funny about these folks saying they got Black fatigue, they don't got YT fatigue of these folks shooting up schools, blowing up stuff, terrorism, all this stuff. But y'all just tired of Black folks, though? So I always be mindful of folks like that, be it a female or a male. I keep my eye on them because they cannot be trusted. They ain't fatigued with all this stuff that's going on. And when Black Chain just brought up that he keep his eye on the EBT community. Well, the biggest population of the recipients of the EBT are YT people. Facts.
But I'm talking about the EBT community of black people.
Yeah,
Obviously. So
I hear you. I hear you. But let's just say there's more of them on it than black folks. And if we were fatigued to just black folks, we need to be fatigued with other folks that's just been doing stuff a whole lot longer and a lot worse.
Well, here's the difference, though, because when we do it, we're depraved individuals, and we need to be locked up and throw away the key and put under the paddy wagon. But when they do it, they have mental issues, and Johnny's parents didn't have a good marriage, so he needs help and medication and support.
No,
so,
Johnny asked you to go to the same jail.
Says blockchain, but when you look at it overall, it's when it's a problem. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when we do it. We're the members of society and all this other stuff. My boo came in hot today. Go on, chill. Go ahead and tell him you ain't been chilling all that time. Go ahead.
I mean, look, I'm gonna say it like this. I mean, I get it. I hear people. I see what's going on out here. I keep my ears close to the ground. My eyes are always open. My head is on the swivel. And I see what people tend to do. They're trying to take something that was already created and already out there. Black fatigue has always been a thing. I'm a Black American. I've always known about Black fatigue. We've been using that term since the early 2000s. And then, like I mentioned, the author who wrote that book about it, these are things that we experience. Now you got a lot of folks out there just trying to take something that we have already created, and then they try to put it into a negative spin on it, like the word woke. You got folks out here saying, "Oh man, that's woke." That ain't even the definition of woke. They can't even tell you what it means, but yet they want to get on here and use words that we created and kind of bastardize it and beat us over the head with it. Because I don't know, they might be feeling some sort of way. I don't know what's wrong with it.
It's the same thing black people did with brunch.
What they do with brunch?
We turned brunch
turn it into a shit show of all the same stuff bro was talking about. Now, I do agree that black fatigue is really white people saying they tired of niggas. That's actually what they're trying to say. It's not that they're trying to hijack the term black fatigue. I don't think the majority of these white people who use it even knew what it was. They didn't know anything about Frances or her book. They just said, hey, I'm trying to figure out a way that I can say I'm sick of niggas without sounding racist out loud. And black fatigue fits. So they took it and ran with it. But there's no difference to if it's like we're saying, well, the they do it too argument doesn't do anything other than prove. It's like when a woman says, well, men do it too. It's the same thing because we're not talking about them right now. Everything that he mentioned was stuff that a group of black people were doing. Now, if he had said at NASCAR races, and you don't want to go to NASCAR races in Texas or the South or Mississippi because they turn like that, that's a predominantly white function. But Carnival has been, again, thanks to Groupon and Klarna, Afterpay, and all these other deferred payment plans, has become a haven for these types of niggas.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. When you say stuff like that, it's almost like, so, these people in these different demographics, they work hard to be able, even if they have to do it on a payment plan to be able to go. It's almost like, should they not be able to go? Like, it's
absolutely
like,
not.
It's the mindset. It's the mindset.
That's not my point.
It's
just go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Do you see what's happening on these cruises?
Like, yeah. Like, I don't go on cruises because I was in the Navy. I've been on all the cruises I ever want to go on. So I've never set foot on one of these cruises, not even the boob cruise. I don't want to go on that. But I understand because these functions, like a lot of people are saying this activity acting like it's black culture, and it's not. But and by no means am I saying that these people shouldn't do that. If you want to get into it from a financial literacy standpoint, I can make that argument. But what I am saying is that these people who do these things, act this way, all have very similar characteristics. Bro called out the bonnets, pajamas, and all the rest of that shit. I added the saying CashApp debit cards because they don't have a bank because they're not bank worthy. And then also I added the fact that the way they conduct themselves in public with no couth or decorum.
Okay.
Candace, what were you gonna say?
What he said.
He said what he said. Professor, you was gonna say something?
Well, and I hear what Chill and Blockchain and Kid are saying. And I know some of this sort of comes from the lady on TikTok who was responding to the lady in the park who called the little 5-year-old kid a N-word. And she says she's fatigued of us always complaining about something that happens. So I do have fatigue. I'm fatigued of sort of what blockchain is saying as far as seeing our women and Lululemon. I need my sponsorship package. Lululemon twerking in the store. Going to 4 or 5 star well, 3 or 4 star restaurants and telling the owner that they can dance on top of tables, they can take over the dining room. I'm tired of them stopping traffic in the middle of Texas and twerking. I'm tired of having the conversation about women wearing these long lashes and bonnets. I'm tired of these YNs going up and taking stuff out of Apple stores and shooting up people and things of that sort. So that's what I'm fatigued of. I'm also tired of us saying, systemic racism and DEI. To say systemic racism to me is saying that the overall system is set up for us to fail. So that's how I take it. That's my definition of it. I don't think the overall system is set up for us to fail. And if it is set up for us to fail, and that's what we believe, then guess what? Then you need to, this is what it is, and work around it. Because we're not in Jim Crow South. We're not in a segregated society. And then when we were in a segregated society, we did actually well. The wealth gap was actually closing. And what he did also say, he talked about the Democratic Party, how we keep voting for the Democratic Party when Lyndon B. Johnson passed the Great Society Act, which started a lot of this crap with a single parent household. And he started, and he was Democrat. He said, I'm going to have N-words voting Democrat for the next 200 years. Yet we still vote Democrat. Democrats are all about, and I'm not trying to get really political, but this is where he was going. Democrats are all about giving handouts, and Republicans are all about, hey, we'll give you the means to get what you need, but you got to get up and work yourself. So that's what I'm fatigued of. I'm fatigued of all those things we have going on, in addition to blaming something outside of ourselves for why we can't succeed, when there's enough Black people in this world that have succeeded. So that's what I'm fatigued of. But yeah, so that's where I'll land my plane.
Okay. I dug it. I dug it.
What's up, Candace? What's your thoughts on the topic?
So I like being objective. Dude said absolutely nothing wrong. Like, if you take it with the context that he's speaking from, it's all logical. It all makes sense. So I mean, I get it. And I think when we were talking about, I forgot what the what you said, Professor, but what came to my mind was it's meant, the system was set up for us to fail. I think the system was set up for us, in the sense of the majority of us that don't question what we see. So those of us who want to stay asleep and want to stay in bondage or whatever the case may be, we're more comfortable there because they're going to be those people. The system was set up for those people to fail. To fail. The rest of us, we see that and we find a way around it. So whatever it is that's making the other people win, we're not so much in our hatred or in our our self hatred, or our turned around hatred. We're not so much into that. We're going to see an opportunity to learn, and we're going to grow from it. And then we're going to be among the percentages of those people. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I actually, I feel like Professor said, I feel like what Blockchain said. I'm tired as well. And of course we're using the catchphrase Black fatigue. But in reality, it's way more about just tired of nigga shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That consistent, it's that consistent. You go outside, and like I'm so chill said. We all know the majority of people that's on EBT are white folks, right? But we got to look at, do we actually want to live around the highest population of the people that hold those cards? I don't want to live in those areas, to be honest with you. I actually took my family away from those areas because there was so much crime going on. Because I didn't know if my son was going to come home when I sent him outside. Matter of fact, one of the main reasons why I left New York was because I put my son in the bed at 12 o'clock during the day to take a nap, and I heard gunshots, and the shots sounds
Drive by.
Shit, that sounds like me.
Yo, but the
Y'all talking about fatigue?
fatigue. So, but the shots was so loud that it honestly felt like it was gonna. I thought it came in my house, and I actually had to go pick my son up and look at him to make sure nothing came through the house. And that was it for me. I was like, I'm moving. But guess what? A lot of us aspire to move in. Obviously, if we can move into predominantly Black neighborhoods that are well-to-do, upper middle class to upper middle class Black people, we want to be there. But
It's a bunch of them.
oh yeah, no, there's a bunch of them.
But all over the place.
One of the biggest problems that we have with that is a lot of us can't afford to move there, right? So for whatever the reason is, a lot of us are not stepping our game up. A lot of us are not working hard. A lot of men haven't made themselves into what you have, Chill. You know what I'm saying? So it forces them to stay in those same situations, those same communities where we have to be around the BS. If you went to a projects where I'm from, it's crazy. And now living in Charlotte and seeing the projects out here, it's even worse than the New York projects. I didn't think nothing could get worse than New York than actual projects in the South. And that's where the problem is. That's where the problem is.
I do. My issue with this whole thing, though, and it do bother me. I'm gonna be honest. It bothers me a bit because when we talk about terms like this, Black fatigue, nigga shit, or whatever, that shit is relegated to one group of Black folks. There ain't nobody saying that it's all of us. It's like when it's negative, it's just the Black Americans. Nigga shit, black fatigue, all of that. But then when something positive happens, be like, oh, I'm Jamaican American, oh, I'm Haitian American, oh, I'm Trinidadian, oh, I'm Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? But when they do some degenerate shit, I'm Black. It's Black this, it's Black that. That's my issue with that. That is with this whole thing. That is my issue with it because it's like when it's negative, oh, we gonna dump it on them because that's what we do. We dump our degenerate behavior and everything, and we're gonna dump it on them. We're gonna say Black. Everybody's bliggity Black. But then when it's something positive, everybody want to separate. So how do we? What's up? I mean, that is my issue with this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? That junk kind of it's kind of messed up when you think about it. It's like when it's negative, we just gonna say it's some nigga shit and it's Black, and everybody already know who uses the term Black and who uses the term nigga. So it's like, all right, y'all gonna have to wear that. Anything that these folks who ain't a part of your lineage do, you gonna eat that.
But I see it different than what you're seeing, how you're seeing it, Chill.
Talk to me.
I see. You put me somewhere in Brooklyn where it's predominantly West Indians and it's the same crap going on. And I would say the same thing, niggas, right? So
I get it.
Because it's Black people. We really can't separate the two. We're Black in America. So that's how we get looked. So if I commit a crime, you don't know where I'm from unless I told you. But either way, I get wrapped around that same nigga stuff. You know what I'm saying? So no matter how we look at it, that's just how it is. It's only, I think, very small parts of our community that tries to separate themselves like, no, I'm not Black, I'm Jamaican. No, I'm not Black, I'm Trinidadian. I don't think that's the majority because crime is crime.
I do gotta ask for anybody that's in here that is, you know what I'm saying, a Black American. Tell me, have you noticed how people separate themselves? I mean, all the time. From the moment they get here, they will fly their flags high and fly and be like, I'm Black, but I ain't that kind of Black. I'm not like them. You know what I'm saying? They've always done that. I'm not saying that you do it, but I'm gonna be honest, especially in New York. New York, oh my God, that's a sanctuary city. They
don't separate in New York. They don't separate themselves. I'm like I said, I'm a part of the West Indian community, and I never ever heard us say we are not Black Americans. Once you grab that citizenship, most West Indians be like, I'm Black American, and we get lumped into that when things happen. If we want to look at it like we separate in race or whatever, we have to. No one's going to sit down and look at you and me and think that you and I are different. No one. They're going to say, yo, all right, this Black people. Mm-hmm. You can't separate the two just because you say you are something else or because you rep an actual country. That to me doesn't make sense for people to even think that.
I mean, I hear you, but if that's the case, why they flying a different flag in their car? You know what I'm saying?
Proud of their country.
Huh?
Because they're proud of their country.
They proud of a country that they no longer reside in? How's that still
be? I'm proud to be from New York. I don't live there.
But you're still in that country where New York is, though.
Maybe the culture. Maybe the culture.
You're proud of your culture. That's what it is. You can't forget your culture just because you moved to somewhere else. So most people that rep their cultures are proud of their cultures. They're proud of where they came. Because guess what? It still made you who you are. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? No matter where you are.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's paying homage.
No, but I think it's the same thing though. Like, you know, how many of us can tell the difference between a Japanese, a Chinese, you know, Korean? Some of us can, but some of us can't. When an Asian does something, it's an Asian doing something. We don't say whether they're Turkish, they're Russian or this, that. We don't separate white people based upon their culture either. So the thing is, I see where you're coming from as well, Chill. The problem is, and I said this before, and I know somebody got upset when I said that, is that what is Black culture? So
I can tell
we have a subculture, but we don't have. What is the flag that we are under? What flag do we represent? Like we don't have a name. We're African American, Black American, foundational Black American. We don't have a set name. We don't have a set way of cultures. We don't have a flag that that represents us. Now, if you're Trini, if you're Bayesian, if you're Bahamian, if you're Jamaican, you have a flag. You have a set cultures that you were raised under based upon the country you're from. So while we may not separate you when you get here, and if you do something positive, we separate you. But because for the most part, we don't have that culture, because what you may have done or what you may have grew up doing may not be the exact same thing that I may have grown up doing. The foods you may eat, it may not be the same foods that I may have eaten. So we don't have that set culture for the most part. We don't have the flag that we sit under. We don't have a name that we sit under. But go ahead, Chill.
All right, I'm gonna say, well, one, that's false. We have several flags actually. We have the Juneteenth flag, which was created in 1865. It looks like this. If you want to know, that is our flag, which was created by our people. Now, if you don't know that, then I will tell you, you need to talk to your ancestors or educate yourself. Two, we have another flag, which is foundation. Hey, Candace.
Listen, I'll say
nothing. Go ahead. Yeah, it's been a while. Go ahead and get it all out.
It's been a while. So and then we also have another flag, which is the Black American Heritage flag, and I rock that. I keep that on me. You know, so we do got flags, and then our culture is something that everybody want to dip their hand into every single time, all the time. Be it music, be it food, be the way we talk. Our vernacular, the way we dance, everything. That is our culture. Our culture literally run this goddamn world, not this country, but this world. You got people in Ghana right now doing the very dances that a Black American created on TikTok. So when I say that I'm proud of my culture and my people and everything, it might seem kind of different from how other people see it. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be a form of degeneracy in every single culture. But one thing that I don't do as a Black American, I don't sit up there and try to, dump what we may do on somebody else or whatever, and then try to separate myself. You know what I'm saying? Our culture has always been the most loving group of people. We've always embraced everybody that wanted to come in and partake in our culture that literally fuels this world.
But I'm going to ask you this, though, because for one, I do know those flags, but how many people who are whatever we call ourselves, Black Americans, Afro-Americans, African-Americans, foundational Black Americans, don't know a name. How many of those people know those flags?
A lot.
Okay, right. But how many of us would, if I were to go on the streets, how many out of 10 people, how many people have seen those flags?
Well, you got to make sure. I'm going to say you got to make sure that you are talking to somebody that's an actual Black American, not trying to make it seem like we're better than this group or whatever.
Right.
But you have to talk to actual Black Americans, and they'll tell you, "Yeah, I know that. I know, especially where you at in Charlotte. They definitely know it out there."
Right, but my question is, I'm speaking from a macro standpoint, and also when you talk about the dancing and music, I agree that's part of it's a subculture, but overall culture, what is so? My question would be, what is your definition of culture?
Culture
And,
is
and
simply
what is needed for
all right.
that?
So the definition of culture is simply a thing that a group of people do. That's what the culture is. A thing that a group of people do. And I would tell you go ahead and look that up and just confirm that I'm either right or wrong. But it is a thing that a group of people do. And here's the thing. We have a plethora of things that we don't like. Look at the inventions. There's over 50,000 Black American patents of inventions that was created. That's a part of our culture. These very inventions are being used today. In your
That's
house,
not a part of our culture. That'd be part of our history.
History, culture, you know what I'm saying? Innovative. That is a part of the culture, being innovative. Because look, here's the thing. When people latch on to us like leeches, we innovate and create something new for other people to latch on to, like leeches. That's culture. What other group of people is creating something for other people to latch on to and or mimic or copy?
Right, but so culture is the values, traditions, beliefs, behaviors, and customs that shape a people's identity over time. So I would have to, that's why I would have to push back. What do we all have? Value, tradition, beliefs, behaviors, and customs that we all would say is what we say, Black American, FBA American. What do we call it? What do we call it? What are we calling ourselves? What can we agree to call ourselves, Chill?
Well, I'm Black American. When you say FBA is simply a lineage. You're simply a group of people that's the descendants of the freedmen.
Okay, so Black American. So what can we say for Black American is a value, tradition, belief, behavior, and customs that shape our identity. This is as a macro sense, not as a micro. In a macro sense.
You're saying what is the thing that we do that shape us?
Yeah, what values, traditions, beliefs do we all believe as a Black American people that shape us? Because we all don't believe the exact same thing. We don't all have the same traditions that, like, if I go to Jews, right? They're gonna have they're gonna have set traditions about whether they're whether they practice fully Judaism or whether they're Jewish, but they have set things that they do, right? Italian Americans, Irish Americans, they all have set, Russian Americans, they all have things that they do that are set with their culture.
Hell yeah, they do. Flee from their country. So the thing that sets us apart is we ain't never run. All right, how about that?
Okay, but I'm saying, so when it comes to us, what do we have? What do we have? And this is not me downing Black culture or Black community or anything like that. I'm just trying to get to what this set of culture, beliefs, and things that we have.
I get it. You're not trying to down it because you can't. Nobody can, because it is the only culture that everybody is trying to profit off of. Nobody's trying to profit off of nobody else's culture. If we don't have a culture, a set thing that nobody's do, then why is everybody always up in our mix?
Because we have a subculture that everyone tries to take from, which
What's
is
the subculture?
Which is our music, which is our dance, which is the way we speak, and even the way we speak is different depending on what part of the country you're in.
Right,
it's a geographic thing. So sometimes even the way we dress. So those are subcultures. That's not a culture. Those are subcultures.
And what about those subcultures that connect every single one of them? Be it a brother that's in New York versus a brother in Georgia. What about that subculture that connects both?
You tell me. I don't know. Other than
Innovation. Always being creative. Always creating a new trend. Always becoming the trendsetter. Always. That, man, we the it factor. I mean, I love everybody. I do. I get down with everybody, man. I rock with everybody. But let's just keep it a buck. We are the salt of the earth, baby. You would never get me to sit up here and talk mess about my people, about my culture, about our ways, about our customs.
So,
could
Chill,
never.
Chill,
What's up, brother?
can I question you on that then?
Yes, sir.
It's not so it's one thing about bad talking your culture or your people, but there's another thing about holding your people accountable when they're
I
wrong.
hear you. I
And
definitely hear you.
the one thing that I hear sometimes, like when we had this conversation, I think it was like 2 months ago, and it basically fell along the lines of like how it started now, but what about them or what they do? And then it was a separation of, oh, Black Americans to Black West Indians to Black Africans to Black whatever. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just saying like Black people as a whole, not saying there's a lot of good Black people, a lot of us in every culture, but let's not take away from what we need to hold accountable that's making people tired, that's making people not want to move to urban cities in America, what's making people run from them.
I see something different. If people are running from urban cities, why is only the urban cities are being gentrified? It ain't
Because business people see a profit in it. They see a reason to put money into it. That's
right.
the only reason why. It's not the fact that it's not. Go ahead, Candace. Sorry.
So the those of us, okay, we're not in the like the whole gentrified thing. Those are people who are of a certain class. I think that we would stop getting into the issues that we have if we stop playing the victim card. If we stop living from a place, if we stop playing the victim card.
The victim card.
The victim card.
So what you're trying to say is if something happened to you, Black folks, don't complain about it because it's gonna make you look like a victim.
I don't think that's what she means. I don't think
well, clarify it for me then, Candace.
That is not what I mean.
I don't think that's the context that she meant it, but I understand what you're saying as well. So here's the thing, like Black people had to assimilate in order to get along in this particular society, whereas they appropriate from our culture. It's even where the term culture vultures came from, because no matter what we do, no matter what we create, no matter what we have, they'll take it and try to flip it. Just like all of a sudden the Black man fade was known as getting the Travis Kelce. Like who? Oh, now we going to the barbershop to get the fucking Kelce. If you don't blow me, like what are you talking about? Like fades have been, so but that's what happens. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm going to get that. Yo, Kelce got that hot fire haircut, and they wind up taking from us. We are the ones that create and make a whole bunch of these different things possible that you see, which is why they are always on our heels, always trying to learn, always trying to be quote unquote invited to the cookout, because that's where they get their information. That's how they learn. That's how they become one of us. Think about it even from a physical standpoint, right? The Kardashians didn't have a lip, boob, butt, hip, or anything to think of. Everything was a thin mint. And then all of a sudden they went and got the attributes that us Black Americans, African Americans have. And then all of a sudden their bodies became the standard. Even though we're the ones who were born with, had been doing forever. They went and got man-made to look like what we already were, and then somehow they became the standard. Again, they appropriate from us all the time, and then all of a sudden that's where the whole culture vulture came from. So as far as us having a culture, our culture is we're the creators, but if you think about it, we're the creators of man, period. All life started in Africa. So the fact that we are the creators, it makes sense. We've been doing it for ever.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I don't want to take it too far. We all right. We gonna keep it right here. I like where we at. I like this space. Let's not go to what I'm saying, Jerusalem and everything. But now look, I do want
to take your little funky ass comments. I've been on your side all day. Don't act up.
I know. Chill out.
Don't do it.
I do wanted to damn. Damn, you threw me off, man, with that Jerusalem thing, the hippity hop. But no, so I wanted to address what you know what I'm saying, what my brother Mingo said. Basically, you know, I get that, you know, we want to hold our people accountable. And I gotta be honest, haven't we always been the folks being held accountable? Hell, we do
need to
so.
keep doing it.
Huh?
We need to keep doing it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the law hold us accountable. Our jobs hold us accountable. The education system hold us accountable. Every aspect, every activity in this country hold us accountable. And it's like, I mean, you go out here, you do something. You know, black kids, men, males and females, they do something in class, they get expelled, suspended. They getting all types of stuff thrown at them. I mean, you defend yourself like rightfully so, from a life or death situation, and you still get jammed up. We are the only people that are constantly being held accountable, and then we got other people who look like us to be like, yo, we need to hold you even more accountable, while everybody else just running roughshod around here.
Why? But you see, you're the only one that's separating the groups. We're talking. I'm speaking black people. And I'm saying whether you are black American, black African, black West Indian, black whatever, you do something wrong, you need to be held accountable. It's no different than a white person needs to be held accountable. But hold on. But here's the problem that we have, though, right? As much as whatever they do, this we're predominantly in their country, right? So they run things the way we run it. We keep asking for, okay, well, please look at me, give me a break because I've been oppressed and because that is the victim mindset that we was talking about. The mindset. Now, hear me out. The mindset of please give me an opportunity other than creating an opportunity for yourself is a victim mindset. You create. We don't beg. We don't do, which is a Malcolm X mentality, right? Not necessarily a Martin Luther King. It's a Malcolm X mentality I'm talking about here. Something that you take and you create for your own people. Why are you not creating your own schools in order for your kids not to be held accountable by the white man? That's what we're talking about. Why are we not building up our own? Why are we not building our own jail cells and our own court systems to hold our own criminals accountable to the degree we see profitable?
And you know, when you say that, I hear you, and I do separate, but not in a negative sense. It's because, you know, when you invite everybody in, it's like, anybody seen the movie Sinners? Fabulous movie, fabulous, amazing movie, great writing, great script, and there was a lot of hidden gems in that. You know what I'm saying? I grew up as always, you know what I'm saying, inviting everybody in, and I used to grow up and wonder why, well, damn, why they always saying they ain't like me? What makes them different from me? Hell, they look like me. They burn in the sun and get dark like me. What's going on? Why are they separating themselves from me? And then it wasn't until I was like, you know, in my damn 40s that it hit me. It's like everybody have already delineated themselves and separated themselves. So now that I'm doing it, and now that the majority of Black Americans are doing it, now it's a problem. Because when you think about it, I'm gonna just say that when you think about it, people are allowed, when we sit up there and do this whole kumbaya homogenous thing, and we say we all one you all one big group of niggas, all right? We do all that. People can come over here and dump their degenerate behaviors on us, but then when they do something positive, they can separate themselves, which is something that we constantly see. You know what I'm saying? So I do it from a standpoint of protecting myself and my folks. I get holding us accountable. I do.
So who's doing the crime though? So this is what I'm saying.
You have to look at the last names of the people. You got to look at the last names.
I see a first name Jaquavius, last name Johnson. Right.
Yeah.
So Jaquavius Johnson's committing the majority of the crimes out here. So how can you say he's West Indian if his last name isn't Buku or some African name? Like this is what I'm trying to say.
Why your voice changed?
I was saying, he's like, Buku.
This is what I'm saying.
Hey man, I miss y'all, boy. Goddamn, boy. It was
Your,
That's what I'm
your nose,
saying. We
your
don't.
nose got stuffed immediately. You was like, oh,
Right.
uncle.
Buku. Right. That's what I'm saying. If we can't, we're saying we're inviting certain people in. As Highway Skinny says here, Walmart Tavius Johnson.
Walmart Tavius Johnson.
He's committing all the crimes. So we know that Walmart Tavius is out here wilding, right? We don't know where he's from.
Tavius is out of control.
Yeah, we don't know where Walmart Tavius could be American. Walmart Tavius could be from,
could be second generation Nigerian. You never know, because when they blend in well, they do.
Right, because guess what? We all look alike. So this is what I'm saying. We don't know who commits the most crimes by culture. All we know is you black. And when I fill out the form, if I had to fingerprint myself, it says Black American. That's it. It doesn't say Black West Indian fingerprint. No, we just know you're black when you commit a crime. So to say that Black Americans are not really the ones committing the bulk of the crime and West Indians are doing it and they're backing off.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I didn't say that. I just simply said that we take the brunt of everybody's, be it our own plus every other black nation that's out here. We got to eat that. And also on applications, it says African American. Now they're starting to put Black American because we fought to push for that. We did that on our own. It wasn't a collective thing.
Even more of the same reason why you wouldn't know. Blockchain, what's your thoughts? You quiet down there, man.
I mean, I don't have a unusual, already unsaid opinion of this entire thing. Like, I've never I grew up in one of the most, we'll just say, niggiest parts of Dallas, and coming out of that, I still feel the same way I felt back then when I was in the middle of it. Like, I didn't enjoy that. I never wanted to be around those people. I never thought that doing that type of stuff was cool, but it's also because of how I was raised. My father raised me, and he's the reason, I had the dad who was getting me out the hood and taking me out the country. Like, I don't see a point or any ground that I'm willing to cede to someone who thinks that this is okay or normal behavior for a group of people. Because even in a perfect world, and say we weren't acting like this, and we weren't the niggas that everyone was sick of, or we didn't have such a large subset of them in the group, in our ethnic group, even if it was the other side, we would still be just as sick of them. So I don't really feel like there's anything that, like, this conversation can only go but so far, because you're going to divide it down the middle. It's going to be niggas. It's going to be black people. Black people are sick of niggas, just like white people are. Like, I don't see that it's not a complex issue, and I have no problem highlighting these things, because these things that I highlight, I can support with multiple examples, and hell, some studies. Like, people somehow have contextualized being ratchet, uncouth, loud, aggressive, and unruly as part of black culture, but those people tend to be niggas. And then on the outside of those niggas who have done that, it's white people, because what they're seeing is this group of niggas. They're not seeing black people. They're seeing niggas do this type of stuff in our music, online, on social media. It's highlighted. Those are the viral clips. Those are the things that they show on the news. For example, like that fight where we had, where, it was a bunch of black people that fought the white family on the side of a dock, on a pier. Like, again,
rightfully so. They should have whooped their asses. What do you mean?
It's nigga shit, because it's
whatever.
Okay.
I was standing up for a brother who was being jumped by a bunch of white folks, but
right. So it's nigga shit, because his people go help him, but no one called the police. They just went over there and tried to fight, and then we became the aggressors once it became 40 of us against the 6 of them. So, like, understanding and co-signing that stuff, I'm just not there. Like, and of the people who should be, I'm not there. Which one of y'all fell asleep? Damn, I wasn't even talking that long, but whoever felt like that, you need to get your intake manifold checked, because that's just tough. But yeah, I'm not the guy that's ever going to be like, there's no such thing as there's no level of blackness that I could ever choose to be or try to put on as a costume that's going to make it to where I'm not going to hold black people accountable, because the only people I can hold accountable are my people. I can't hold white people accountable for anything. I'm not white. I'm not in that space. I'm not in those groups. I don't have the majority of those friends. So I don't have any inroads into that. Majority of my friends are black. I just happen to also have, a predominantly excellent group of black friends who all feel the same way. We don't want to go to like even Texas, right? We have the Texas Relays. The Texas Relays has become one of the most niggerish Walmart things ever in life. We don't go like we used to. A lot of the things we used to do that just got so bad and so niggerish have ended. Freaknik, the Kappa Beach Party, the majority of things now, like even though they have brought Mocha Fest back, and when I was younger, I may have been to a Mocha Fest or 30. The point is that I'm going down there because the little small section of nigga shit I do like is when girls with fat asses did it back then. Now I'm not there. I don't want to be around anything nigga. I don't want to be around nigga shit at all. I have kids. I want to keep away from that. If I could eradicate that section, that subset of our culture with the push of a button, I'd push that shit 5 times. I have no interest, no sympathy, no compassion, no concern, no care, no regard, or no empathy or sympathy for anybody in that space, because they're choosing to highlight the worst of us. They're choosing to represent us to the rest of the world as if, hey, this is what black people are. And then some of us are in a position where, or so disingenuous intellectually, where we'll think, well, white people shouldn't think that all black people are like that, when it's all they're seeing. They're not seeing the good black people. They're not seeing the black people that that don't want to be part of this, or that want to go into neighborhoods and be a value add and be a good neighbor, or the kind do the good Samaritan, or do some of the quote unquote white things. They're not seeing us. They're only seeing the ones that we're talking about online, through the social media and the media itself.
Yeah,
but
No,
so
it is true.
Wait. First, I was going to just push back on that just for a second, right? So, you had said something like, what did you say? You had said something along the lines of like you were tired of seeing, nigga shit, whatever the case is. But here's the thing, like, everybody isn't on the same level. You have different people who like different things.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like I was saying before, do they not deserve representation as well? Because we got to remember, everybody is not going to make it to the Grammys. Everybody's not going to make it to be summa cum laude of whatever. But you do have people who, made it out of these same situations. And I personally feel like these people need someone to see, like, say, hey, I did it. You can do it too.
So, you're talking about like a Sexy Red?
I mean, if that's the example of course, that's the example you gave.
Not for me.
But
how many examples do we have like that?
If you're asking me, do I feel like that subset of people, like the Carnival Cruise type niggas, deserve representation? My answer is emphatically no. They deserve suppression.
No.
They deserve suppression, regression, and obfuscation. If anything, I don't want those people to have any sort of advocacy, role models, or leaders who are going to lead them into further being that way. If they're willing to, if we were able to force them to become better people and less niggas and more, like the group of black people that are respectable, upstanding citizens in society, then yeah. But that group has no interest in doing those things. Like, it's because if they did, they would choose to do something different. Like I use myself as an example. Anybody else who came from that background who didn't turn out that way, it's because they chose to. Like, I have a family full of women that if you met these women, you would think that I would like chill. I wouldn't date a black woman if you paid me, but I'm not.
Oh, wait a minute. Time out. I wouldn't date a black woman. Willie Beeman.
We really know you, though. We really know.
Yeah, all I date is black
we
women.
really know.
So,
right. So,
but
my point is, like, I'm sorry. And then we could just say, or like the professor say you like white girls, or you could say I'd be like RG3 because of that. But I grew up around those women, so when I'm older, I know what I don't like. I don't write them off. I love black women, obviously. I've only had children with black women. I've only dated black women seriously. But my point is that when you have all of these people who are showing the worst of us as if it's the normal for us, we can't be foolhardy to think that the world is not going to view us through that lens. So fuck no, don't like represent those people. Suppress those people, hide them. I think that Meta should go and block all types of nigga shit. There should be a flag this is nigga shit button on Facebook, but there's not. So
no, and he's right. But think about it. The media goes by the term, if it bleeds, it leads. So you're not gonna get the kid with the 1600 plus SAT score who's doing well upstate. You're gonna get the YN that just robbed somebody. But you get that in every culture because we all have stereotypes. Back in 2001, 2002, 2003, we all looked at Middle Eastern people a different way. During COVID, there was some rise in Asian violence because of COVID. So they thought everyone of them. So the thing is, we continue to perpetuate it, not only through our music, not only throughout the TV shows we put on. And we can't say, well, that's all they let us put on. Because in the 80s and the early 90s, we had great TV shows on that promoted Black family for the most part. Now we have a bunch of ratchet stuff on TV. So if I'm a white person or Asian person or a person from outside the culture looking in, and that's all I see of you guys, and then I see the news, that's all I see of you, that's all I'm going to think of every Black person I see, no matter who they look like or whether or whether we should give them a chance or not. The other part is, if we, I know we talked about an event and everything, but why do we integrate? We should have stayed separate instead of integrating. Back in the 1950s, the Black dollar stayed in the community for 30 days. Now it's 6 hours. So there's things that we can control that we're not controlling. And when we continue to perpetuate the stereotype and the tropes that are out there, when we have a presidential candidate, out of everybody she brings out Megan Thee Stallion at twerk. What do you think every other culture is going to think of us? So sometimes we can be our own worst enemy.
But here's the thing: when all of the news stories, all of the things they show, that's by design. That's just another way of keeping Black people.
Right. If it bleeds, it leads. It's going to lead regardless. If we're not doing that crap, it's not going to happen. And say this, going back to the accountability piece, other cultures hold their people accountable.
They do.
You say what?
Other cultures hold their people accountable.
No, they don't.
They do.
Okay.
They do.
Okay. Yes, they do.
They do.
Man,
they do.
They were like,
where?
That's
you want
them. That ain't.
You know what I tell you? You want me to tell you why?
Talk to me. Yes, talk to me.
Black don't crack unless you do it, and apparently y'all
let an Asian person act up and watch how his culture gets down on him. Let a Asian woman perform and be some type of 304 and watch how she get condemned from her whole family. They hold each other accountable. They hold each other accountable in many ways. I think
me and Chill was thinking more societal, because if you think about
it, I'm thinking more societal.
Because like I said earlier, young man shot up the church. All of a sudden, he had mental issues and he needs help. But as a Black person, it was condemn, set him on fire. He doesn't deserve life. Put them in jail.
Yeah, I mean, because they protect their own, but that's why we need to protect our own.
The lack of accountability is a uniquely Western issue. That's not something that you're seeing in European countries, African countries, Asian countries, or Islamic countries. And even for other countries who are similar to America, say for Canada or Australia, it's not a problem they have either. In Japan, if a woman gets divorced, she is shunned or she is excommunicated and she is dishonored her family. She gets no recourse. She gets no recourse from anybody the same way that they would over here. In Islamic countries, there's no such thing. Women can't even they show their face or hair to someone that's not their husband, so they wear badayas and hijabs all day. And it's 160 degrees over there. So all of that awesomeness, because those women are beautiful, is baking up under that black ass ninja costume she has to have on. But that's part of their culture. Over here, we don't have that. So are we saying that no, that everyone over here is held to the same standard? Obviously, that's not an assertion that was made. And it's almost like it's a straw man that's being thrown up to try to support a point that's saying that, well, you know what I'm saying, Black people should just take care of Black people, or that it's the same like this everywhere. And it's not. It's not at all. And I've lived in Japan, I've lived in Europe, I've lived in Asia, I've lived in Bahrain and Dubai. None of this shit that happens over here happens over there. None of it. Like zero. You go to jail for this shit in those countries. You can't even litter. Like if you throw trash out, you can't even, like in Singapore, you can go to jail. Like it's a 7-day jail sentence. And in Saudi Arabia, if you get caught stealing or tearing up somebody else's shit, you are there going to be made to be a slave to that person. Indentured servitude. Or if you steal it, they can choose to cut off your hand on your second or third offense. So like when people are saying this stuff, like they make up all these excuses. I mean, it sounds good, but then it also highlights to them they're only focused on the way it works in their small section of the world. Because we should have never ever been or should have never ever thought that it was going to be okay for this type of shit to happen over here. Any cruise that leaves out of Europe, I guarantee you don't see this bullshit. You won't.
Really? You don't.
You won't.
You don't.
Y'all don't see European.
Not like a Carnival cruise. Not like a Carnival cruise.
Like the Royal Caribbean cruises that come from over there, it's never like this. Everybody's ordered and ruly. Even the black people who are on the cruise, you don't see that stuff. And then let's say, the anecdotal case you do. Guess where those niggas are from? America. Like, that's one of the problems that why we're received the way we are in the world. I think I'm going out on a limb here, but I'll just say this before I say it. I've been to 82 countries. I'm probably one of the most well-traveled people that we all have, that you guys will encounter. I have never seen an American have an issue overseas when they assimilated and adopted and respected the culture of the country they were in. But when you go to Dubai twerking, screaming, yelling, doing all that shit you do over here, talking to men crazy because your bill is wrong, or talking to the staff crazy because you can't find the Gucci shirt that you want to buy in your size, and then you're also using a fake credit card, so you feel like you're being victimized by being held accountable for that over there. It's always niggas. It's never Candaces, it's never Kits, it's never Chills. It's niggas doing that. Like the same people who would be over here acting up when they go to Cheddar's, don't want to leave a tip, going over here screaming, fussing, and cussing at chef, being at waiters because they can't afford the food they got, so they want to eat and do that send it back shit. It's always niggas that have problems over there. It's never the like upstanding black people.
Oh, he killed it. Because me personally, I agree with everything he just said. You see it all the time. And it's literally like, yo, how do we fix this though? And could we fix it? You know what I'm saying? But you see exactly what I said earlier, right? Where I said if an Asian daughter moved a certain way in her culture, she got shunned. Back in the day, if you moved a certain way in the black community, the church would shun you. Now the church adopts you. It's almost like, yo, yeah, be a single mom, do whatever you want to do, have as many kids as you want. Go out there, you could kill somebody, come back to the church, and I'll accept you because God forgives. Thou shalt not judge. We only hold the parts of the Bible that really feel good to us. And other than saying, okay, what is the Bible really saying? And how do I hold my people accountable so that way it's not in such a mass number of us doing so much debauchery and foolishness. That's where it's at. And this is a collective. This is every subset of the black culture. We all are doing the same foolishness. We don't know who Glocktavius is or Walmart Pookie. We don't know where he's from. We just know these are black people acting a fool. And I don't want to be nowhere near them. I don't want my kids around them. I try my best to put my kids in better schools so that way he doesn't have to experience that foolishness. Right? I try my best to get them as far away from that culture as possible.
I don't want my kids. I don't want my kids around their kids either, because niggas raise little nigga children. I don't want my kids around them at all.
My son goes to a predominantly, like, it's a whole bunch of, and he's young. This is an elementary school, and he's one of the few black kids in his school. The first time he heard the word nigga came from another black kid that called him a nigga. And he came home and the school made a big deal out of it. The school was ready to kick that other kid out of the school for calling him that. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, yo, hold up. No, we don't do that here. But guess what? Where he heard that from? Mommy and daddy. Mommy and daddy. It is what it is. It is what it is. What you guys say, Chill?
Man, this conversation is I like the conversation. I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, damn, man, I said an hour, I gotta go to work. Damn, but man, I want to get into it. Yeah, but I mean, I get it. I get what each individual is saying, but my thing is, I don't know what I see coming, what I see happening. I just see like this divide happening, and every group is like, one group of people is trying to be like, you know what? hey, we done. We trying to do our own thing, and everybody else is just like, nah, come back. No, we gonna, it's like they won't let us go. We trying to just like separate and just, what I'm saying, focus on ourselves. The whole delineation thing, I get it. We got a bunch of degenerate folks in every single culture, every single group of people that are here, and I don't know. I don't have an answer for what's going to fix it. Truth be told, shoot, me personally, I just think, I don't know, man. I think the separation thing needs to happen, man. I really do, man. I think the separation thing needs to happen eventually, which it is. Unfortunately, it is happening. People know it. They can feel it. They can see it. Be it at your job, be it at the grocery store, be it when you go out, you can see it. It's different now. You know what I'm saying?
If we could separate niggas from black people, I'd be all for it.
Right. Yeah, me
Okay.
too.
Like if we could put them
that's
all
the
on
separation that needs to happen, not
if
cultures.
if we could put them on like the biggest Carnival cruise ship with a one-way ticket to like Point Nemo, I would be cool with that. And but Point Nemo is the place on the globe that is the furthest away from land. It's like 3,000 miles in every direction. There's no land there. So we could put them all on that cruise ship and then let them live happily ever after. I'm okay with that because I think that it'll only benefit the rest of us. Because now we don't have, kids running outside, with 30-round magazines sticking out their skinny jeans. We don't have to worry about, what I'm saying? I think most that probably have an economical effect on a lot of these beauty supplies places because they charge a shit ton for these lashes. And then that also means a lot of these lash techs are going to go out of business because nobody else is going to go pay $200-300 for some 6-inch eyelashes. So I feel like a lot of the ways that we are viewed as a people would be enhanced, if not completely reset or restored, if we just got rid of all of these niggas.
But hold on, Willow. We can't get rid of lash techs, man.
It sounded like an
We can't get rid of
already.
lash techs. It's gonna lower black female business ownership.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, we know that the reason why black
I'm
female
joking.
business ownership is because of beauty, but shit like that. And we're not. I don't even want to get into that. But no, if we can just get rid of all these niggas doing all this niggas, like again, the Groupon EBT community is what I call them in non-black spaces. If we can get rid of that community, I think that it would do us all better. I think that it would serve us significantly more so than it would disserve us because we don't get anything from them, but other than some entertainment. Like I like laughing. At a fight, what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll scroll and laugh at the shit all day. But if the shit happens around me, I don't have to worry about grabbing my pistol and my kids. So the entertainment value aside, they do nothing for us.
Yeah, and I think Boom Boom Room. I think a lot of other races of people would like to get rid of their degenerate population as well.
Yeah, I know white folks would love to get rid of rednecks.
Yeah,
and hillbillies. I understand that. I think that I can't say Jewish people. I think they love all their people. But listen, I've just seen it. Like I've seen a large group of white people who don't like country shit. Like the city slickers, you know what I'm saying? So you got that battle they got going on. So every group is going to have theirs, except the only difference is ours is highlighted because it's it's used as entertainment fodder for in the media and the news or whatever. So I mean, it's nothing that we can't.
And it's just used to further, put us in that negative connotation in that negative space.
The zoo doesn't have a cage anymore. It has a screen, which is your phone screen and your TV screen.
Exactly. So now everything, especially since it's made more public, but of course, like we were saying earlier, they look to highlight our failures, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that alludes to us being the brilliance that we are. Because again, I try to tell people all the time. Like I understand. Like if I was a part of a people that every time they mix with another person, our numbers depleted, which could lead to the takeover of them, I would be afraid of us too. I would be trying to do all kind of unsavory, keep the people at bay as well, even though they brought us here and even though they set us up for, the situation. So again, I definitely, I get it. I'd be trying to look if every time my color mixed with another color and it obliterated me, I'd be trying to do some shit to fuck with them too. So we look. I'm just saying we gotta We just got to be, continue to be better. Here's the thing. I think I differ in my idea as far as, you trying to put the people off in West Budapest. And I'm like, that's no different than sending people to jail without, education and basically like trying to get them to be a part of the society versus in shunning them out of it. I feel like, people a lot of the times are products of their surroundings and their situations. There's very few people who can see past the four walls that they're currently in to see that there's something else. I feel like, in other countries and in other cultures, when people go to jail, they're, while they're there, they go through some levels of rehabilitation, depending on the country and the culture. I feel like if we were to do more rehabilitation of our people and giving them an understanding as to why their behaviors are out of whack or, pulling us behind as a whole, then maybe we have a better chance of strengthening our numbers versus just getting rid of them as a whole because it's just an easier thing to do.
But kid, so we do that. We do that now. We sit up on panels, we sit in conversations, we talk about dating and relationships, right? The problem that we have with dating and relationships, the problem we have with men doing this and women doing this. We talk about this. We talk about people go in the community and have these conversations with young boys and young girls, and we still keep having the exact same situations come in and out of coming in and out of those. So what is it that you're saying is going to change than what blockchain is saying? Because I know because Australia didn't get founded, but they used to send all their prisoners. England used to send all their prisoners to Australia. I'm on the same boat. Send all the ratchet underbelly of each community
on a carnival cruise.
On a carnival cruise to whatever island they want to go to. We'll keep sending them EBT. We'll give them a government finance hut.
Listen, like there was a girl who got hit by a fire truck because she fell off the car she was twerking on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not trying to be funny, but that's nigga shit. Like, that would never be your daughter. Candace, that would never be yours. Chill, that would never be anything of your progeny that would go do no shit like that. But niggas, and then when you listen to their parents, you can understand where it came from. She was a good girl. She did her best in school. She wasn't like, yes, she was. Like, soon as something bad happens to like a black kid, we always try to make excuses for them. Sometimes it's warranted. Like, I'm not necessarily sure why I am on the Carmelo Anthony thing, but I understand if the story as told is accurate that they were trying to jump him, so he poked one of them. I'm not an issue against that because you try to jump me, I'm popping your ass too. But in this case, we have proof that little girl was like what she said. Because there's no way, kid, that your daughter is going to be an angel at home, but then walk out your door, take off her shorts, and be twerking in her drawers on top of a moving fucking car. It'll never happen.
So here's the thing. I will say this, just from understanding, the youth in that way, you'd be surprised at how many angels leave the home and demons hit the streets. And it has nothing to do with lack of rearing versus outside influences and trying to fit in and be a part of the status quo. You have some kids that won't, you know what I'm saying, that are like, it depending on the generation too. You got a lot of kids from my generation. Look, my mother could do the rock eyebrow raise, and I didn't want to breathe improperly. So, you have that level, but then you do have kids. Even when I was growing up, I have friends that snuck out the house. You know what I'm saying? If they had a curfew and they wanted to be someplace. I have friends that, walked out the house in one outfit, had a whole outfit in their book bag to change their clothes, would change their clothes back before they got home, or their parents were at work when they got home. And this is before Ring doorbells and cameras and shit. So you didn't have to worry about your parents seeing what you had on. You change before they get home, and none's the wiser. So, you would be surprised, about how many, right, what I'm saying? You'd be surprised at how many kids, like parents really be like, because they don't do it in front of their parents.
Right.
And that's
I understand that it's going to happen sometimes, but we're saying on the mean. Like the mean of our children, they're not like that. The average child who comes up in these households does not portray themselves that way. The difference in this instance is we have proof of how this child was raised based on the inferences we can make from the interview of the parents and how they spoke, how they carried themselves, and then the excuses they made for the little girl. Like you can tell, like you know what I'm saying, talking about, it's not going just the way they speak, the way they articulate, and then saying this their presentation. You understand what's going on inside that house. And then to find out, it's 9 kids in there. Like I'm not trying. It's really difficult to watch 9 babies.
Now you're okay. So then when I hear something like that, then her acting out may be more towards attention getting, because if you have 9 other kids at home, I don't, they said that there's a mother and a father. I'm assuming you got that many kids. People are outside working. She might have been one of the older ones watching the kids. It could be anything. You know what I'm saying? So
she was leaving a party when she did that. When it happened to her, she went to a school party and then decided to show off.
And there was another girl the other day as well. Like I think it was the same exact week where another girl got out the car, was twerking in front of a car, and her friend ran her
over. They were hating. They set her up. They could like when you read the story, they literally set that young girl up. They said, "Oh, go ahead."
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say they literally set her up, but I mean that's something totally different. I mean, like I said, man, the thing is. What a lot of people, especially parents, if you're a parent, you need to understand that here in America, you are, be it your kids, women, men, you are constantly fed a steady diet of propaganda 24/7. And when it comes to us, you know what I'm saying, everything negative is always highlighted, be it Twitter, here, TikTok, it is. I mean, we don't control these platforms, so we don't get to control the content that's being pushed. And a lot of these things are very influential. They influence the young males, the young females. Everybody's trying to do the latest trend, and it's wild out here. So that's why I would say if we want to kind of nip some of this degenerate behavior in the butt, you're gonna have to limit, some of the stuff that is being intaken. You're gonna have to limit some of this media, some of the music, the constant steady diet of content that you're feeding yourself every day, because believe it or not, it's just like being around a bunch of losers. By default and by definition, you will become a goddamn loser.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So we can hold everybody accountable, but truth be told, a lot of this stuff starts at home, and it starts with being extremely responsible and intuitive to what the people in your circle are doing, be it your kids, your family members, so on and so on. I think that's where the change starts. We can sit up there and, talk about degenerate behavior all day, but what ends up happening is they'll take one thing and it's blasted all over social media, news, and everything. And it's just, they keep feeding you of it. And you just, it shapes your perception and mind of how things are, how you may think they are. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that these don't happen. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I just want to ask you this: Would you be for, like Australia and France and other countries have done, banning social media for kids under the age of 16?
Hell yeah! Hell, man, I saw a young lady in here. I forget her name, but she said, "Man, the internet need to go back to dial-up or something. There need to be a premium on this shit, man." Truth be told, the internet is a blessing and a huge curse, man. I got to be honest. It's a blessing at times because we can reach out, talk to people, we can create, we can do a lot of things that can equal a level of success and or a lot of positive things. But man, there is a dark cloud that comes behind that, man, and we all see it every day. I love the internet, but man, I had to get off of TikTok. TikTok I couldn't stand it. I try to shape my feed the way with the stuff that I like, but man, they kept pushing stuff that would just rub me the wrong way, and I'm like, delete immediately. I couldn't take it. I was like, yeah, man. And sometimes I'll download it and I'll try to get back on there. I'll be at work. I'm like, all right, ain't nothing popping. Let me start doing scrolling, and I'm talking about within 5 minutes, I can't do it. I can't do Instagram like that. It's hard. The only time I pop on Instagram is to check out the Meet the Mary stuff, man, because You know, that's the type of stuff I like to watch. You know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about.
Yeah, I like to watch stuff like that. I like that. But man, it'd be a lot of negative stuff, ratchet stuff, degenerate stuff on there that it turns my stomach, and I'm just like, I can't do it. But imagine of the millions of people who watch that stuff and be like, ooh, that looks cool.
Right. But you see, and exactly what you just said just now is, and this is a quick way to promote, right? Exactly what you said just now is the reason why I created a show called Me to because because now if you think about it, right, the idea would be to create instead of being a part of the problem, instead of being someone that wants to do media, but I create a show that's full of degenerate crap. Why not create a show that adds family value to it, has a mindset of marriage to it, has the togetherness factor to it, and that's what we're talking about. It's more of what part are we playing as individuals to fix the problems that's around us. Some of us could do it very minuscule, meaning you talk to your sons and your daughters, right? Some of us could do it at a larger scale by teaching in a school. Some of us could do it through our jobs by creating an environment in our workplace that shows people how to grow and build themselves. Some of us could do it in media. Some of us are rappers. Some of us are singers, using our talent for the right things in order to change the trajectory of the foolishness that's happening right now.
So let me ask you this. You just said something really interesting. It's going to piggyback off of something I feel like either Professor or Chill said. So you said, changing the music and, making sure that they're not, they're listening to, box, whatever you want to call it, right? Do you find fault with Glorilla for all of the twerking at the red light accidents, since she is the one who kind of put that quote unquote energy into the music, into the song or whatever?
Yeah, I do.
And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna put this out there. I get it. We live in a world that if somebody put, a pathway for us to make some form of success, we usually get so engulfed in that we don't care what we putting out, and especially for our music artists out here. These folks who run these things, they don't want no homogenous type music or whatever. They don't want that, black power type music. They don't want no educational type music. They want degenerate, ratchet stuff because it feeds the system. So
because there's so much of it, that's all they have, right? So
I mean,
it's less Cosby shows now than there is Real Housewives of whatever.
I know, and they do it intentionally. That's the thing that I'm trying to tell people, and that's the thing that everybody as a whole need to understand. This is done intentionally because they understand. Look, there are think tanks. Look, for the company I work with, I got a chance to sit down with the think tanks. You know what I'm saying? They pay these folks, I'm talking about millions, just to think up some shit. And these people are freaking geniuses. They are brilliant. They know. Who was that? What is that? Oh,
that was my daughter. My bad.
Oh, all right. No, you good. You good. I thought Kitten had another one, man. I thought she knocked off another baby. I was like, damn, Kit, you out there.
Another one.
That's blockchain in all his chats. That's all.
Oh, man, stop. So look,
you wait. What you mean? All my you're talking about all mine. Like you just said, I got a bunch of kids. Like, hold on.
He came on real strong with that. He put his 6-foot chest out. Like, what you mean, girl? All my kids.
Yeah, shoot. I've been doing some push-ups lately, so I got some pushback for you, baby. Don't make something like that.
But no, look. So the thing is, with this think tank, when I first got there, they said we can make this group of people do this. And they talking about making people do certain things within the job, make basically guiding the culture and creating it. And I was looking at it, I was like, I mean, it sounds good, but within, I want to say, the first 4 months, I mean, people, they did. And they did it by certain media that they projected to them. They did it by certain things that they read. And these people just literally fell in line with it. I mean, I swear to God, this think tank could have made people quit and jump off the top of the roof of the building if they wanted to. That's how powerful media is. So It's gonna, at the end of the day, all of this degeneracy, the only way to stop it is if, you know, one, you can't have folks in your household, parents raising you that adhere to some of this degenerate behavior. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna have to be mindful of what your kids are, you know, steadily intaking on a day-to-day basis. I get it. We can't be around them 24/7. We really can't. We can't see what they're doing on their phone 24/7. We can't see who they're around or talking to, you know what I'm saying, when they at school. Because let's just be honest, when you got some degenerate ass people, they're gonna raise degenerate ass kids. I'm just gonna call it straight up the middle. That's just what it is. And it's like a freaking virus. It is. And when people see it from the outside looking in, they're like, damn, man, that shit look fun, man. They wilding out, they being rebellious. Damn, I like that. I want to do it. I want to get on top of a moving car and twerk like can't nothing bad happen to me. When we all know
and
that.
you know that culture came from Gorilla and her music videos.
Right.
But here's the thing, no. But here's the thing. I think that we really have to start looking at the media from when the switch in shows really started to happen, right? So we went from, even in the music, we went from Fight the Power and UNITY to, you know, now people are twerking on headlights and, you know, I'll take him, I'll take him in and keep mine too. And, OP,
F my baby daddy, all that.
You got OPP and you got all this other stuff. But then even when you think about the television shows, you went from having affluent Black families, that, not only had money, but culture, etiquette, all of these different things. And then also showing the evolution of that going into higher education and how to further yourself. You went from shows like that to now you have a whole network full of chicks who interview just so that they can potentially beat each other up. People feed into this. You know what I'm saying? And people feed into watch it. And to me, it's just asinine because even with the Real Housewives, I'm like, y'all have all of this money and all of this influence, and you use it to be negative and fight each other and to put and push this narrative out that Black women are this. And, even though it's quote unquote entertainment, life has a way of imitating what we see in our entertainment. It's the reason we have a whole bunch of shit going on. Nigga, don't dummy.
I got to, because that is the whole purpose. That is the point. All right. So we talk about the Cosby. We talk about those shows like that. Well, how do you get a group of people involved in what you're creating? How do you get a group of people to sit up there and look at the TV for hours and hours on day? You got to get them interested first. So you put something on the platter that, hold on, listen to me, woman. Damn. Look,
I was just saying, I give them drugs. You asked the question. You said, how do I do that?
Okay, so hold on. I wasn't really. All right.
See, that's why
So you get them, you entice them with something that seems interesting. All right. Like the Cosby. When the Cosby came out, you had a group of people that was like, yo, I can relate to this. And then after the Cosby was a different world. Different world helped populate the HBCUs that they built, which is ran by them folks. They created that. The Greek fraternity. They wanted to populate the Greek fraternities. Different world. There was wearing the jackets from the Greek fraternities and everything. Then we started doing it. We started going to HBCUs and doing all this and doing all that. And then after that, Freaknik. Somebody mentioned that earlier. Freaknik started out as a cheap way for college students to have a picnic. And then you had the likes of Uncle Luke, who is a Jamaican, came down and turned that thing into a real freaking.
I thought it was just regular Black.
No.
It was started by it was like 5 or 6 Black students that
I didn't mean it like that, but what I'm saying is Uncle Luke definitely came. Him and
you absolutely meant it like that.
No, it was creative. It was like, what? Yeah, it turned it into it went from picnic to pick a trick and make it do what it do, and then it did. They even got a documentary about it. You know what I'm saying? That man kept,
right now.
Yeah, that man kept all the footage. So but what I'm saying is you have to entice people with something first to get the numbers, to get them glued to it, and then you hit them with all the degenerate stuff because people are going to take to it. They're going to gravitate to it, and they're going to imitate it. That's how it always been. So the work needs to be done more so at home at a very early age. I mean, right now, I can't see any other degenerate behavior changing. I really can't. As long as we still got a steady diet of this media, this content, it being pushed to people, I can't see it changing. All I can say is that people who are adults need to take accountability and be mindful of what they're, ingesting into their mind, because that's the only way I see it. But other than that, I mean, I don't have a solution for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really don't, because it's here, and they're going to keep pushing it out to you unless that type of thing collapse. Which I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Anybody else got a suggestion?
Well, it's gonna sound really bad.
Oh God,
that still sound really, really bad. Brace for impact. But no, it's sort of like the movie Idiocracy. We need.
Oh God, no.
We need to sterilize the people who should not be having children. The people who can't have accountability for why they got pregnant by somebody that they didn't like. We need to sterilize some of these people, man. Because at the end of the day, the very people we're talking about are the very people that are procreating, and the same people that want to be friends with their kids, who want to party with their kids, be the cool person. Your job as a parent is not to be the cool parent. Your job as a parent is not to be liked. Your job as a parent is to be respected, and that household's respected. At one point in time, it was like, you are a Johnson, you are a Shaver, you are this, you are that. You respect this last name when you leave this house. They don't have that anymore because the parents want to be the friends. The parents want to go out and party with them. The parents want to sleep with the same boy you dating, which is weird. So
wait, what?
Yeah. So how does this stop? It doesn't, because you're going to continue to have people who shouldn't be having kids, and perpetuating the same lineage going down the line and back. So that's why I say it's going to sound bad. We should sterilize the people who shouldn't be having children.
I was gonna listen. I'm not mad at trying to get rid of whatever foolishness is going on by any means necessary, because we are failing. We're at the bottom, and I can't really see a positive direction for us as a collective, as a Black people, as skin folk. Right? I gotta say that. I gotta say that to chill. Skin folk. We might not be kinfolk, but we skin folk.
All skin folk ain't kin folk. You know the saying how it goes. But
some of them are Jamaican.
I just want to give a shout out to Candace's side eye. That is strong within the side eye is strong within the camera. I just want to make sure.
Y'all don't peep. Candace is super laid back today. I don't know what Candace has some Kit edibles or something. Candace is laid back.
Candace got some Jerome.
Oh. Jerome.
You see him looking over the camera like this, looking in the driveway.
Like, where my man at?
Right.
Listen, I'm gonna respect everybody's time, and I want to, say that this is definitely a good show, good topic, and I think it was a necessary topic. And as I was telling Candace earlier, I kind of wanted to get away from the relationship part of it, and I wanted to get more into, what's going on with us as a whole, as a community, and because I do think if we fix us, we'll fix the relationship problems. So we'll end this whole we don't need each other foolishness if we really worked on us as a collective. So I wanted to make this show into something a little different today. Thank everyone for joining the show. Also, I will be dropping Meet to Marry the Reunion on Wednesday. So Wednesday, season 2, Meet to Marry Reunion will be live. Hold up, and while my claps ain't working, there we go. And also, thank you, Chill, for joining us once again and gracing the panel.
I'm here, man. You know,
with a great y'all. We miss you, man. It's been a hot minute.
Okay.
It's felt like it's been like what, 3 months?
Like 2-3 months.
Yeah,
No,
literally.
I mean, because I'm supposed to work every other Sunday, but I've been working every Sunday, man. They need me. We short staffed, and hey, man, I gotta do what the media be doing. I gotta control the minds, make them do what I usually do.
Sound like they hired in New Hampshire. If you need a job,
I know.
If you need a job, go to New Hampshire.
Come to Lanza. Come to Lanza.
I will definitely be looking up. Honestly, I was today years old when I learned about this black fatigue. Y'all see what I thought it was. So I'm gonna actually look this up and see what this is.
Look it up. Like Chill said, Chill was right.
What's so crazy is like I was like, I know they probably think I'm joking. I was like, I know they probably think I'm joking, but I was. It's a delay.
It's your internet. Stop getting on the internet with dial up. What's wrong with you?
It's not.
You said we should go back to dial up.
Yeah, we should. You know what?
Kids doing her part.
She is doing her part, man. Her picture all fuzzy and shit.
Do what?
Oh my goodness, y'all.
We were
like
winning. We were winning, huh?
Yo, before a minute though, I felt like I was having my old school panel back. You know what I'm saying?
You got
everybody that's been here for a minute.
We here, man. We here. It's just life is life, man. Work.
Oh yeah.
You know, when you see an opportunity, and like yourself, man, you've been extremely busy. You're doing the podcast. You're also doing the shows. You want second season. You're doing the reunion. So and you're doing your own thing as far as work. That's just being busy. That's being active. So, but for myself, I'm gonna always be here. You know what I'm saying? When you need me, you just give me a call. Like I said, look, I might not pick up the phone right away, but as soon as I see your name, I got to call my brother back. I'm gonna always be there. You know what I'm saying? You earned that from me, man. You definitely earned my respect. We can have tough conversations all day, but you got my respect. You call me, I'm there.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
Oh, you told me to
Chill.
call
Just
you,
make sure
so-
that chill. Just make sure with that hoodie on, you don't walk out with no Skittles.
No,
Just make sure.
Well,
we need you
I
back.
I know how to protect myself. All right. You know what I'm saying? I know how to protect myself, and hey, my Negro senses be tingling if something is afoot. All right, so I ain't gonna sit there and ask no questions or nothing. And look, we can carry over here.
Yep.
Yo, so check it, right? Check it.
Black man with the cape.
I'm gonna end the show here, but y'all, thank everybody in the chat for joining. Thank you for those that sent out a super chat. Okin, my man Amir, and coming in hot, my guy Blockchain gifted 10 memberships. As I said, if you got a membership, please make sure you continue your membership monthly. We got monthly giveaways that we're doing on this channel. So continue to be a part of the GMT fam. I'm gonna close this one with an actual opening for the for the reunion of season 2. So stay tuned and lock in. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
North Carolina, a city of energy and charm. Now more drama. We got the beautiful, and I have my lucky bachelor.
We are with the lovely, curvaceous, vivacious.
So how about you? Is it a yes?
Yeah, so I decided to go and choose you.
All right, y'all. Looks like we got a connection. I'm loving it. There we go. You thought it ended at the final choice, but tonight, the real drama begins. Tonight, secrets are spilled, receipts are pulled, and some decisions may be undone.
This season gave us love, heartbreak, and some unforgettable twists. So grab your popcorn, because this reunion is about to get messy.
Welcome to Meet to Marry, the reunion.